You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy, StudioMguyvR, and you are listening to StudioMguyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, welcome. Welcome to the fucking show, guys. If you're into anime, if you're into video games, nerd culture, then you come to the right place. We talk about all of that here. And I want to begin the show. Today is a little different. Today's show is a little bit different, guys. I'm feeling very nice right now. Okay. I've had a little bit of some sake. I'm just chilling in the man cave, hit the record button. There's not a lot that has been going on in the video game world right now as of late. And typically when there's like new games on the cusp, on the horizon, things are a little bit quiet. This is really the most quiet it's been in quite some time since I can really remember, as far as anything big happening in the video game world. As far as sports, though, it's crazy. I mean, LA has won another championship with LeBron James. That's dope. That's always dope. The Seattle Seahawks came back, Russell always tends to do, bring his boys back on a nail biter win. The Cowboys, looks like they lost Dak Prescott to a nasty ankle injury. In the sports world, there's a lot of things going on. But as far as the video game world, these digital streets that I often talk about, not a lot has changed. Not a lot has been going on. Everybody's anticipating, of course, the release of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. And we've all heard the news, guys. I've talked about it here. Everybody's waiting. Should I get it now? Should I, sit on the computer with my finger on the refresh button and just wait? And all of that. We've had these conversations. I've told you how I felt about them, what I was going to do personally. And, I'm just going to wait it out. I'm not going to rush anything. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to let it fall in my lap when it's available at the right time. Because like I said before, guys, there's nothing that's going to be available day one that is going to have me trying to put on some black shoes, black mask, black Glock, going out into these streets and doing something to somebody for the system. I'm not going to do that. Okay. But hey, there's some people out there who just want it, and that's fine. If you want it, if you get access to it, hey, more power to you guys. I'm just going to wait till it becomes, fully available where I can walk into the store and just buy it. That's just me. Okay. But I do want to talk a little bit about a few things. I do want to talk about, what I've been watching anime wise. I've talked a little bit about it last week, but not just anime. I've been watching some shows. Yes. I don't talk a lot about shows like regular TV shows if it's not animated on this show, on this podcast. But I do watch other things besides anime, believe it or not. And there are some dope shit. There are some dope shows out there, guys. And if you're not watching them, I'm going to talk about a few of them. I hope you enjoy them. If you haven't been watching them, I hope you give some of these a gander, give them a try. The problem with a lot of this stuff is when you talk about shows nowadays in the era we live in, everything is associated with an app or some sort of channel with their own app. So it's damn near impossible to watch everything because, I can mention 3 shows here on 3 different platforms easily. And the majority of people listening will probably only have access to one of those. And that's saying something, because there's a lot. Okay. But I also want to talk about a particular listener of ours, of mine, of the show. I've talked about him. He's been in the podcast. He's been mentioned in this podcast the last couple episodes, man. And we finally had a chance to meet up and lock heads, controllers, whatever you want to call it. And we had a chance to play. And I'm going to get into all of that. I really am. And I guess I also want to brush up against some PlayStation 5 info that I just got. Nothing major, nothing too important. It just really has to do with the compatibility thing. There's only 10 games, and that's like out of like 4,000 games, guys. That's over 99%. Okay. Basically, there's 10 games that have been created out of 4,000 on the PlayStation 4 that have been listed as non-compatible with the PS5. I didn't write them down because, be honest with you guys, they're not even worth mentioning. Okay. I have never heard of these games in my fucking life, and I didn't want to waste my ink writing them down on this paper to even talk about them. Okay. There's some noises going off in the background of my fucking tablet. I don't know what's going on. Maybe some news feeds coming in or whatever, but whatever, fuck it. But it is what it is. I muted my phone, but now my tablet wants to talk and notify me. Yeah, go figure. Anyway, that is what's, going on with the PlayStation 5. I just thought I'd mention that because I've been seeing it everywhere. And there's some people who actually were taking this information and using it per se against Sony, trying to make it seem like, oh, well, there's 10 games that you can't play. Like, people will find anything, and I do mean anything, to try to, talk down on a certain entity just because they don't like them. They'll find any reason to do that. And I always tell people the same shit. Look, man, if you're for a certain brand or system, I mean, that's cool and that's fine, man. But if you look at the whole umbrella, the whole landscape of all of this shit, man, it's all under the same umbrella. It's all video games. It really is. So because you love Sony or because you love Microsoft or Nintendo doesn't mean you should hate the other ones. And I don't think that's true for most of us. I think most of us own multiple consoles, multiple, companies that are out there when it comes to video games or whatever it is. And there are those chosen few, though, that look at that as almost an insult. What? You're supposed to be an Xbox guy and you have a Sony device or you have a Nintendo device? Like, really? Is that the world we're living in right now, guys? Seriously. I think you can appreciate them all, no matter how you feel about each one. You may feel one is better than the other one, and that's fine. A lot of us do, me included. But that does not mean that the other one doesn't have anything to bring to the table. You can honestly tell yourself that, oh, this company has nothing to offer or nothing you would play or anything you could appreciate. That's just being straight up closed-minded in all of its glory. And that's just my opinion, but I think a lot or most would agree with that. But, hey, it is what it is. There's going to be those people out there. But, I thought I'd bring this information to the table. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's not even really relevant because, like I said, the names of these games, nobody will probably be able to guess. Most of them are like within the first 6 months to a year of the console's release. And they're literally like no important game. Okay. They may be important to one guy out there in Guam somewhere hiding under a hut, sipping tea. But other than that, no. Okay. And that's really pushing it. That's really pushing it as well. But anyway, and even one of those developers out of that 10 has stated that they're working on a patch for this shit. I don't even know the name of the game. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. But the point is they are working on it. So, hey, they care enough about it to refresh it and try to make something happen out of this game because they consider that there is somebody out there who is thinking about this title. Anyway, there's not a lot on the show going on. There's not a lot newsworthy, shall I say, going on out here in these digital fucking streets. Okay. The one thing that I do that I am extremely excited about, guys, is about Ghost of Tsushima. Okay. My favorite PlayStation game now, it actually trumped God of War. And that's saying something, guys. It really is, because God of War is a fucking classic and still one of my favorite games of all time. But Ghost of Tsushima, if you didn't know, if you're new to the show, there is a fucking multiplayer update coming. I've talked about this in the past, and we got a release date, and that is going to be October 16th. That's right around the fucking corner, guys. The next time you hear me on this podcast, I'll have played it. I will have gotten my hands on it. And it's crazy to even say that. I mean, I was happy with the game itself. The campaign, I was cool with it. That alone made the game my favorite game all time on PS4. All right. But now we have extra at no cost, mind you. No cost, no extra, anything. This is all free. This is all in an update, guys. We're getting a New Game Plus with this update. We're also getting new content for New Game Plus, new currency, wherever you want to look, how you want to look at it. But then we're also getting the multiplayer. And then we still have stuff coming later, post 1.1 update. All right. We still have more stuff. We have raids and all that coming at a later date. I'm speechless. I cannot wait for this. This is going to keep me going until Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, which is going to be November 19th. If you guys didn't know. And every time I turn around, I see a new video on Cyberpunk. I see a new trailer of some sort, getting your lips wet, making you anticipate this game even more. And I'm so excited for that. I really, really am. This game I'm going to lose so many hours in this game. My girlfriend is going to be so mad at me. She is. She's going to be upset. Okay. My 8-week-old daughter, currently she's 8 weeks. Yeah, her fat cheeks are going to be crying. She's going to be crying. Where's daddy? Where is he? Well, daddy's playing Cyberpunk 2077. That's what's going to happen. Okay. In worst case scenario, hey, she's in my fucking lap watching the screen go crazy. Okay. Belly full of Similac and tap water, laying in my lap while I play this game. Okay. Because I have certain responsibilities, and some of those responsibilities include watching after my small child overnight, because I'm a night owl, and my girl works days. I do my thing at night, and doing that, and that's fine, and that's dandy. But like I said, I've laced everybody up. I've let them know this is what's going to happen. November 19th. Hey, please get ready, because I'm going to lose myself. Okay. All right. I usually go on new games that I are typically anticipating, like really wanting to get into. I'm playing no less than 10-hour playthroughs, 10-hour runs. Okay. When I first get in the game. So guaranteed easily, when I put the game in and it's ready to play, it's going to be an easy 10-hour run. First time off easily. And probably the next few times that I touch it. Okay. So I'll play it for 10 hours. I'll chill, do my thing, do whatever, leave it alone for a little while, come back, and it'll be another 10, easily 8 to 10. And then I'll do it again a couple more times before I, start, winding down a little bit. And I mean a little bit. So 10 might go from 10 to, 6, 7, depending on what day it is and all of those things. So, but like I said, when it's a game like this, same thing I did the same thing for The Last of Us 2. I did the same thing for God of War. I remember. I mean, I did the same thing for Dragon Ball FighterZ when it first came out. Like the games that you really anticipate, these are the things that you do. Okay. And that's just what it is. And if you have family and they know you're a gamer and they know all these things, this is the stuff that, they grow to accept. They have to accept it. Like if my girlfriend never accepted this, trust me, I would not be with her right now. Okay. It just wouldn't be a thing. All right. Call it a fault. Call it whatever you want to call it, man. I'm a gamer. Okay. That's what I fucking do. Some people read books, some people game, some people play instruments, some people like to rock climb. But me, I like to fucking play video games. Okay? And watch anime too. Please don't get that twisted. Anime is a little bit easier to deal with because I can watch it in bed. I can watch it on my phone. I can do it any fucking where I want. But gaming, it's an acquired taste for a lot of us. But certain games you can't play in the bed. Some games you can't play on the road. And Cyberpunk 2077, excuse me. I'm sorry. The sake is real out here. But Cyberpunk is a game that I have to be in the man cave in front of the TV. I have to be in my zone to play this. And please believe me, it is going down. Okay. But yeah, man, I'm really anticipating that. I'm also anticipating the Ghost of Tsushima 1.1 update, guys. That's another game I'm going to lose myself in. I've got a lot of my friends on board, ready to play it. They've already got the game. And yeah, can't wait to dive into this and see what it has to offer, man. That's going to definitely keep me busy, guys. I'm trying to find stuff to keep me busy, gaming wise, until Cyberpunk drops. And that is going to be the games that I'll be playing. Yeah, I might try Vampire because it's free this month on PlayStation Plus. So I've been hearing mixed things. It's a game I've always wanted to play. Okay. But I just didn't get around to it. Some people say it's too slow. Some people say it's very, very glitchy and buggy. Okay. Now I hope the people that were saying that are the people who were playing it when it first came out and they, had updates and they remedied a lot of the stuff. I'm going to readdress the situation and find out what the fuck is going on with that. Definitely. But I really hope that it is not plagued with a lot of game freezes, a lot of crashes. That's one thing I fucking hate. I cannot stand that. And there's no excuse for that. I mean, it really isn't. Okay. Control is a game that I really wanted to get into, and that was plagued with a lot of technical issues. And now they're putting the update behind a paywall. And that bleeds all kinds of fuckery to me. And I just don't like that. So I hope that this vampire situation thing is remedied before I play it or download it or whatever, because I'm not going to waste my space for all of that if that's what I'm going to be looking at. Okay? That's just me. But moving on. I've been watching a lot, and I do mean a lot of different shows, guys, not just anime. I'm going to be talking about some anime that I've watched. I watched a couple of these and I've talked about these, and I'm glad that I fucking did. But there's been a lot of shows that I've been watching too. And one of the shows in particular is a show that goes by the name of, I'm sure most people listening to this know about the show, The Boys, which is on Amazon Prime. A lot of people don't have Amazon Prime, and I understand that. I really do. A lot of us do use Amazon for shopping. And, the benefit of that is getting Amazon Prime. And with Amazon Prime, you get Amazon, you get the fucking show, you get their Netflix, so to speak. And you get a lot of anime on there too, actually. And you get shows. Okay. Villain Saga is one of the shows that they actually, promote on their network, which is dope, which is a great fucking show. I can't wait for season 2. But anyway, The Boys is a superhero show, man, that I think is meant for all the adults. It's definitely mature, and it's the realest superhero show I've ever seen, as far as how superheroes are as people and how they act around, society and all of that. I just really love that show. And you won't understand it until you watch it, guys. Definitely check it out. It's 2 seasons right now. Season 2 just finished. The only caveat I have with these shows, and especially a lot of these shows that are coming out now in the last, handful of years, is that they're being cheap. And when I say that, I mean by they're being cheap with their episodes. I remember when the average episode or an average season of a show would last, you're getting, 12 episodes? That's the average. I mean, these motherfuckers are now giving us 8 episodes. I mean, what the fuck? 8 episodes for one season? I don't like that change. A lot of these companies are cutting corners. They're trying to stretch out, the show And it just seems like everybody's getting more thirsty and more selfish and more greedy. And I don't like that at all. Fucking 8 shows. Okay. 2 months that we wait for a whole nother fucking year before we get another 8 episodes. Get the fuck out of here. That's just my opinion. Okay. The show's good though. It's definitely worth your time. Give it a gander if you have not. But another show I've been watching is one called Lovecraft Country. It's a crazy, deranged sci-fi adventure / thriller type of show. There's no words that there's no way I could really explain this. And you just have to fucking watch it. It's just crazy. It's outlandish, but it's good. It's very good. I think it's season 1 is almost over with. We've watched, I want to say like 7 episodes so far. And that's an episode I had to that's a show that I had to commit to with my girlfriend, because if I can't go ahead of her and watch the shit, okay, we have to watch this together. And that's why, if you're smart, if you're in a relationship and you're watching shows with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever, don't commit to too many shows. Okay. Especially if your schedules are crazy, because you'll never finish them. You'll watch them for years. Okay. By the time you get to the show, there'll be 2 or 3 seasons available. Oh, there's 3 seasons. Oh, well, shit. When we started, it was only 1. That's what will happen. Okay. So I think maybe 2 shows tops. Don't go any more than 2, because you're going to find other shows you might want to watch. Keep a couple shows for yourself, because then you can watch them on your time. And at least that's how I look at it, because that's how our schedule is. So yeah, like we could have easily finished it tonight, but we didn't, because she wanted to watch some shit. And rightfully so. And I wanted to watch some things that I wanted to watch. And I'm going to get on that in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, because there's another show on this list that is fucking the shit. Okay. It was recommended to me through a friend, Dig 24/7. He's been on the show a few times. You guys may have heard of him, but he recommended a show called Raised by Wolves. It's on HBO Max, and Lovecraft Country is on HBO Max also. So HBO has some fucking shows on here. Okay. And Raised by Wolves is definitely a must watch for any sci-fi fan, anybody who loves the Alien franchise, because this is a franchise actually created by Ridley Scott. He has his hand in this. He has his foot in this. And especially if you love those Prometheus movies and stuff like I did, the lore behind that, and this movie, it's a show. This show is for you. Okay. Definitely give it a shot. I have watched about 5 episodes so far, 4 or 5 episodes, and I am loving the show. I texted my homie earlier after like the first episode and said, I'm liking what I'm seeing. So far, so fucking good. It starts off about 2 cyborgs. Okay. They land on this fucking planet with no life form in sight, and they land with embryos of some sort. Their job basically is to raise these embryos into adulthood. Okay. Apparently the human race is going extinct. So this is a plan set in place to remedy that. Okay. So there's a female android and a male android. Okay. They land with these embryos. They go through the process of, genetically growing these embryos, to be born and raised. And they actually are born there. They grow up to, most of them reach the age of around 11, 12 years old. And they begin to become sick, and they begin to die off one by one. And nobody knows why. They're trying to figure out, the androids don't know why. They're trying to figure this shit out. And it gets crazy after that. It gets even more crazy after that. Okay. Until there's literally they all die except for one. There's only one child left. Okay. And I'll leave it at that. That's just the tip of the fucking iceberg of the show. Okay. But the shit gets crazy. It's pretty fucking dope, and I really enjoyed the show. Okay, it has Ridley Scott written all over it. It really does, and I appreciate what I've seen so far, and I can't wait to get back to it. That's what I've been watching literally today. All day is what I've been watching for the most part, and it's great. And these are just a few shows that I've been watching. There's a lot of different things out there to watch, guys. There's just so many shows and things now at our disposal. Okay, Netflix alone. Every time I turn on Netflix and log into Netflix, it seems like there's a new fucking show available. Not even just one, but like 2 or 3. Like it's crazy. I mean, you'll never be able to watch all of these shows, but that's the beauty of it all. So you'll never run out of things to watch. You know, look at the bright side of it. You'll never run out of things to watch. That's cool. And, you know, so fucking be it, because I would rather have it that than soul searching and trying to find some shit to watch, and you can't. So that being said, yeah, these are the shows that I'm watching. You guys should definitely check them out. If you haven't heard of them, Google them, check out some trailers, whatever you want to call it, big ball it. Okay. All right. Now I want to talk about some fucking anime. I talked about it last week, guys. I talked about a few of these. They're awesome. Okay. One of them is called Noblesse. Okay. Noblesse. It's about a vampire who was dead. Well, I want to say dead. He was hibernating for over 800 years. I think the last episode I said like thousands of years or some shit like that. I was wrong. It was 823 years. Okay. And he got woken up by his, I guess maker, you want to call it, but his name is Frankenstein. Okay. Who happens to be a principal at a fucking high school. All right. And the vampire wakes up and he doesn't fucking know what the fuck is going on. He's not, he doesn't know about schools. He basically gets the rundown by Frankenstein and lets him know. Then the vampire befriends some students at the school. Of course, none of them know he's actually a vampire until some shit pops off. There's these other group of vampires who are looking for him. They were supposed to find his coffin, take it, open it up, dispose of him, but they were too late and it didn't happen. And a lot of bullshit ensues. Okay. It's an awesome show. First episode, I've only seen one episode because there's only one episode out. Technically there's 2 now, as of now, right now. I'm going to watch the second episode later on tonight or tomorrow. But actually, no. Let me rephrase that. Let me jump back. I got that confused with another fucking show. Okay. Actually, I don't know when the second episode of Noblesse is coming out. I'm a little frustrated about that. The other episode that I was talking about, that I was thinking about, was another anime on this list that I actually watched, and that was called Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay? Jujutsu Kaisen. Kaisen. Now this shit is about this is some crazy shit too. Sci-fi, shonen, whatever the fuck you want to call it, supernatural kind of thing that they have going here. It's about this kid who is gifted, and he's gifted with this sight that, only he can see. Everybody else around him doesn't see what's going on, but he sees like demons and all this other shit and pure sight, when everybody else around him, they see nothing. Okay. And he's very gifted, and this has a lot to do with curses and how those work and how those, keep people at bay and keep people away. Way more to it than what I'm talking about, but it gets crazy. Okay. It really gets crazy. I mean, what I'm saying about it right now does it no justice. You guys just have to check it out on Crunchyroll when you get a chance, get opportunity. This is just a tip of the iceberg of shows to actually watch that I would recommend for you guys to check out. Another one is called Burn the Witch. Okay. It's another one. It takes place in London. Okay. There's these 2 chicks and they're witches, and, there's 2 different, how can I put this? There's 2 different realms, if you will. There's one realm which dragons exist, and there's another realm which they don't exist. Okay. And they're responsible for keeping the realm with the dragons at bay so that they don't intertwine or interfere with the other realm that doesn't have them, where average regular humans exist. Okay, so for a perfect example, you could be in my apartment, okay, talking to me. We could be drinking a cup of coffee, talking, okay, but we're in one realm. Okay, now there's another realm that coexists with our current realm. Okay, and the guy I'm drinking coffee with, he can see the dragon standing right behind me, literally, while I'm sipping my coffee. Okay, now the dragon's not doing anything to me, but there are some dragons out there who will fucking say, you know what, the back of his head looks very good. If I put a little sugar on it, I could eat it. I'm gonna try to eat this guy. Okay, and he's responsible for making sure that type of shit doesn't happen. Okay, because he can see what I cannot, and that is the premise of Bird and the Witch. Like I said, there's more to it in all these animes, but that's just, if I had to describe something to you guys, that's what it would be. But there's a lot, and these are all new. These are all fresh, like season 1 episode a piece for all of these. Okay, some of them are just now getting the second episode. So this is all on Crunchyroll. This is definitely worthy of your time. I would definitely consider checking them out. But there's so many more that are already finished, or at least a season where you could watch it. It's just about what you want to watch, picking what what type of style you appreciate. And like I said before, guys, on previous podcasts, don't be afraid to jump outside that fucking box and, find something else. If you see something interesting, take a leap of faith and watch it. You'll be more surprised than not the majority of the time. You really will. I'm serious. I found so many dope anime by doing it like that and taking the chance. And hey, I do not regret any of it. I'm not saying you're going to catch any duds. Okay, because every once in a while you're going to catch a dud. Why am I watching this? I've wasted too much time. I can never get this time back. But more times than not, I guarantee you, they will be winning combinations. Okay, and that's just my opinion on it. That's from my experience up to this point, and it's real. It's all fucking real. Anyway, let's get off of that, and I'm gonna, talk a little bit about the last portion of the podcast, guys, and that has to do with an ongoing listener. Okay, he's been listening. I've been talking about this guy for the last couple episodes. Okay, his name is Kevin, and he goes by the name of Kev Mr. 26. He follows me on Instagram. He's a longtime listener. He's been listening. He told me tonight that he's been listening since episode 25 or so. And then he even went back to the first episode and listened to that all the way up to 25. He's been down from day one. He's been one of those day one listeners, man. I just give him a special shout out because he's the shit. And we've been trying to link up, okay, and have some matches in Dragon Ball Fighters for a while, and our schedules have been really, really fucked up. He's doing a lot of things on his end, and I'm doing a lot of things on my end. He's very busy. I'm very busy, and we finally had a chance to hook up and play some games, and not just that. And I'll get into that, but we did play. Okay, we played about 6-7 matches. All right, and out of those 6 and 7 matches, all I'm going to say is 2 words. Mop water. He fucking mopped my ass up. Okay, I got mopped. I'm not gonna lie to you. Out of all those 6 or 7 matches, I only won 1 match. Okay, and yeah, I'm rusty. Look, I'm keeping it real with you guys. I'm rusty as fuck at the game. I thought I was gonna have time to play a little bit and lab a little bit and get caught back up, but no, I did not. That did not happen. Okay, because life happens. But I was not gonna use that excuse. If he mopped me, he mopped me. And that's what happened. Okay, we met up, we played. Next thing I knew, we went to fade to black. I got dizzy and I fainted. I passed out. Whatever the fuck. I woke up looking at a silhouette of his back, and moving around. His shoulders were moving around very, very vigorously, and I was wondering what the fuck was going on. I was still hazy a little bit, but I found out it was too late. I basically heard the lid pop off. And basically, it was a tub of butter sitting there behind him. And I realized it was over. Okay. That one match that I did happen to beat him with, I actually got free. I broke free for a quick second, before he could catch up to me. And I was able to find a packet. You know, when you go to the restaurant, you find a packet of ketchup, packet of mustard. I actually had one packet of warm butter in my pocket, and I was able to open it slightly before he managed to KO me and pull out his tub of butter. He has his own brand of butter. It's called Kev's Warm Butter. He pulled it out, and the rest is history. Okay. There's nothing else to say. It was used, and I'm in therapy for it now. Okay. Guys, you know I'm fucking with you. Okay. But that's pretty much what happened in my mind. Okay. And we had a great time. We played Dragon Ball, but the most important thing of this whole conversation was the fact that we spoke in a party in PlayStation 4 for about a good 30, 45 minutes easily, probably maybe an hour. And we just picked each other's brains, man. And the beautiful thing about all of that is he was just a listener of mine, and he's been listening from day one. And me having a chance to get to talk to this guy, get a chance to pick his brain, get a chance to really, learn about him and let him learn a little bit about me. We talked about Dragon Ball. We talked about Naruto a little bit. I'm trying to get him to watch Naruto, Shippuden, and not just me. Apparently a couple of his friends are trying to do the same thing. It's beautiful when you get a chance to have that contact with somebody, especially somebody who appreciates what you do. You know what I mean? Appreciates what you do and is, interested in what you do, what you have to talk about and all of that, man. And it's just a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing, because without this podcast, guys, I would have never known this guy. I would never had a chance to talk to him, never had a chance to play him in a game and link up. And now I feel like I've made another friend. I feel like I just made another friend, really, because we both love Dragon Ball. Okay. And he's in New York. You know what I mean? I'm in Dallas. But that doesn't fucking matter, because I've done this with people in fucking Europe and other countries and all of that. That's the thing about this podcast, and the thing about just reaching out and putting yourself out there. You meet other people who have the same interest as you. And it's a beautiful thing when you connect with them. It is. I mean, I feel like now I can talk to this dude. If I see him online or whatever, I can jump in his party, and vice versa. He can jump in my party or whatever, man. And it's just amazing that people, hang on your words like that, because he told me that, hey man, they're me and a couple of my friends at work, we listen to your podcast at work, and, we get all your analogies and all the things with the warm butter and the sake and the endo and all these things, man. They fucking love it, man. And it's shit that I just talk about. Okay. It's just things that I just bring up and I joke about. And it's just so amazing to hear when people resonate with that type of stuff, man. And it's just beautiful. We had a great conversation about anime, and we really talked a lot about Dragon Ball, our favorite characters. He's a Gohan guy, and how, where we want the franchise to go, into the future or whatever. And, it's very exciting to talk about these type of things, man. And it probably won't be our last conversation about it. And that's also a beautiful thing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just, opening of a door and, moving forward to something new, something better, And he told me things about his life and personal life and all those things, him and his wife and everything. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things, man. And that is what the goal of this podcast is about. It's about, reaching out to you guys and talking about things that we all have in common, and getting to know each other and making friends for life and just building relationships. You know what I mean? It's that simple. That's it. I got into this just for that. Okay. Looking for people who felt the same way that I felt. Okay. Think people that I could talk to about the same things, man, and nerd out with. You know, that's it, man. That's simple. That's all. I don't have any huge giant agenda or anything like that. None of that. Simple. And now Kevin, aka Kev, Mr. 26, is a friend. I can call him a friend, not just a listener, which I do consider my listeners my friends, but to be able to go past the listening phase and get into a more personable relationship with a person, that's the goal. That's the end goal for me, you know? And we talked about possibly maybe even him being on the show at one point in time, which I would fucking love as well. And I encourage all of you guys, you know, to do that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want to be on the show, it's very easy to do. Just reach out to me, guys. If you have a computer and a microphone, we can figure it out. We can make it fucking work. Okay. That's what I'm here for. I want to talk to you guys. I want to pick your brains. I want to know about you. I want to know, you know, your favorite anime, your favorite shows, your games, what you like to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure I have a lot of these things in common with you guys, especially if you're listening to this podcast right now, or if you listened to it in the past. That's all. That's all I'm here for. That's what it's about. And with that, I'm going to end the show. I want to thank everybody for coming out, listening to the podcast, guys. I really, really appreciate it. It's growing like hotcakes, and I appreciate all of the fucking love. If you want to get at me, you can easily do that on social media, guys. You can hit me on Instagram at StudioMguyvR79. You can hit me on Twitter at StudioMaguyver. You can also check out the Facebook page at StudioMaguyver as well. The YouTube channel, I drop content every week. The show's there as well. You can check out my channel. That's StudioMguyver TV. That's StudioMaguyver T.V. Type that in. You know, channel will come up. You check out all my videos, my gameplays and stuff like that. Matter of fact, Kev told me he was playing God of War currently right now, which is a awesome fucking game. I was telling him about the Valkyries and how dope they were and how like it took. I got all the Valkyries done. And I told him I had a video on the channel or whatever. But yeah, man, I mean, just stuff like that. It's beautiful. Simply delicious. Okay. Anyway, you can get at me on those platforms, guys, easily. Okay. Very, very easily. And with that being said, I'm going to get my ass up out of here. Also, you know, I've been talking to him and other people about merch. There's people telling me, yo, you should put out some merch. You should put out some fucking butter shirts or some fucking wet shirts or some Indo or motherfucking Saki t-shirts. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. You know what? I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get into, you know, some brainstorming and I'm going to come up with some stuff, guys. And when it becomes available, I will definitely let you guys know. Okay. Cause a lot of people have been talking about that stuff, merch, try to do some merch. And then I'm going to try that. I definitely am. And when I do, you'll be the first to fucking know. Okay. Anyway. He also told me before I get out of here that he wanted the intro music. He wanted to do the intro music that I had when I first started the show, because I've been using a bunch of different intros for the show, and that was one of my original pieces. And I told him, you know what, you brought it up, so you know what, I'm going to fucking use it. So when you hear the intro music, guys, if you don't recognize it, if you're new, then I didn't expect you to, but if you did, then you recognize. If you've been here, you probably heard this intro before. It is a dope intro, I have to say. I guess it's time that I put it back in rotation. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show, guys. I hope to see you guys next week. We do this every fucking Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. Hope to see you again. Love each and every one of you. This is Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.